So you're thinking about making the move from California to Missoula, Montana. If that's the case, then you're going to want to stick around. This video is going to be just for you. We're taking a deep dive into everything you need to take into consideration before you pack your bags and head east to the Midwest. We're getting into it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know about everything going on in the Missoula market, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you all the time looking to make their move from California to the Missoula area. We don't care if you're moving in 9 days or 90 days. Shoot us a call, a text, or an email so we can help you make a smooth move to Missoula, Montana. Let's get right into it. The cost of living. So according to salary.com, living in Missoula, Montana is about 45% cheaper than living inside of California. I picked San Francisco for this example. So I think this is going to be a huge draw for a lot of people that are looking to get out of California and head east. Not to mention, it is so beautiful here. We always have the most beautiful fall and winters. Truly picturesque. There's so much to do here, and there's also things that you need to take into consideration before you decide to relocate, and those are the things that I really want to touch on today. Housing cost. I'm a real estate agent, so housing cost is something that I'm always keeping an eye on. And as I see people relocate from California to the Missoula area, it seems like they're really pretty excited about the housing prices, which is kind of comical because most people relocating from other places like Texas or the East Coast get out here and they're really struggling to wrap their head around how expensive things are. So for you locating from California to the Missoula area, homes are probably going to be considerably cheaper in the Missoula area, with the average home price currently sitting at $540,000, but compared to San Francisco, where the average home price is $1.3 million. Missoula is even considerably cheaper than if you were to head up north to our sister city of Polson near Flathead Lake. There, the average home price is almost $800,000. So the cost of your house is going to be a lot better now if you decide to come out here. And if you want to rent for the first year, because that's not always a terrible option by any means whatsoever. You're also going to find that rentals here are considerably cheaper than they are out in California. The average rental in the Missoula area right now is about $2,000 per month. Bigger properties like 3 or 4 bedroom single family homes can be upwards of $4,000, and 1 bedroom apartments can be as low as $1,000 per month. Now here's what I'll do for you. I'll put a link in the description box below that actually has a list of all the homes that are for sale in Missoula. That way you can take a look at those and kind of see where your budgeting fits when it comes to making the move and where you're going to land. Climate is a huge shock and sometimes a big regret for Californians. I will tell you, I came from the East Coast when I relocated myself, so I'm a transplant. I'm right there with you guys. And here's the deal. On the East Coast, it is miserably hot and humid in the summer, and it is miserably cold in the winter. But a lot of times, where you're at in California, the weather is about as pristine as you can get it. When you relocate to Missoula, you're going to get a temperate climate, and that doesn't always mean a sunny 75 degrees. It does snow here a lot, an average of 40 inches per year. Not as much as Washington State, Upper New York, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, or Alaska, which make up some of the snowiest states. On the other hand, the summers are some of the most beautiful I've ever experienced. The mountains, rivers, creeks, and all the activities available in the summer are top-notch. And I do think when you're moving here, snow and winter are some important points that you do need to take into consideration. What kind of climate that you're coming into and to be coming from sunny California to a chilly Missoula might be something that shocks you. Let's get into taxes. One really nice thing about the Missoula area is our property taxes are probably going to be overall lower than what you're used to paying in California, based on the average price points of homes being lower. California's property taxes are 0.71%, which is actually lower than Montana's at 1.35% for residential, and 0.99% is the national average. But the average home price in Missoula is $540,000, while in California, it's $961,000. And in San Francisco, the average home price is $1.3 million. You do the math on that one. You'll be saving a couple $1,000s in property taxes each year. One of the best things about the Missoula area in reference to taxes is we have no sales tax whatsoever. The price you see is what you're going to pay for. Pro tip. Always have pennies on you. When a soda costs $1.99 and you give the cashier a $5 bill, make it easier on both of you and give the 1 cent to make your change back in dollars instead of a handful of coins. Anyways, going back to taxes. Montana has a 5.9% state income tax compared to California's tier tax brackets that can reach as high as 12.3%. So taxes are something that you're also going to want to look into before you move to Missoula from California. Now let's talk about education. If you're moving with children, education is going to be something that is really important. The Missoula area has a wide variety of educational choices, from public schools to private schools. There's also an amazing homeschooling community that has weekly playdates, activities, PE, music, and art classes. We also have the University of Montana in the heart of Missoula. If you haven't checked out my vlog tour of the University District, be sure to check it out. I go on a walking tour of the university and the surrounding area. So no matter what level you're looking at, there are opportunities there for you. And you can take advantage of that. As a former teacher, another pro tip, always read online reviews about schools, but do take them in with a grain of salt. Your child's experience will be purely dependent on their current teacher and the class's dynamic. Okay, before I go off on a rant, let's get back to it. Income. So obviously, coming from California, you know it costs a lot of money to live on the West Coast. Now here's the great thing about it. Like I said before, Missoula and Montana as a whole has a cheaper cost of living than California. But salaries are only about 32% less than California. So right out of the gate, you're going to be making up a little bit of that money, about $7,700 per year. We have some incredible employers too, like Community Medical Center, Blackfoot Communications, and Northwestern Energy, just to name a few. There's plenty of job opportunities no matter what you do. If it's in Missoula proper or the surrounding suburbs, there are plenty of job openings. One of the things that California does have going for it that I've always had a lot of respect for is nature. And moving to Montana will really bridge that gap for you. Versus moving somewhere else like Texas that's flat and frankly kind of boring. So when you move to Montana, and more specifically to Missoula, you have a couple great things going for you. Like the opportunity to spend a lot of time outdoors on hikes, kayaking, running, or whatever it is that you want to do. In Missoula, the scenery is so beautiful, regardless of the season. Unlike places like Helena or Bozeman. No shade, but Missoula is gorgeous with the mountain ranges and rivers all around. If you haven't done so already, check out my video about all things Missoula, Montana. I take you on a tour of the whole area via Google Maps. I share the ins and outs. It's a great overview of the whole area. It's a great place to start if you're feeling overwhelmed. I've been in your shoes. I wish I had these resources at my fingertips a few years ago. Now you do. If you have a specific video request or questions, leave me a comment down below. I'd be happy to explore an area I haven't covered in a video or answer your questions. If you have a question, I know a bunch of other people do too, so don't be shy. Okay, back to nature. Another must-see is Flathead Lake in Polson, Montana. It's a 45-minute to an hour drive from Missoula. The views are breathtaking, true perfection. My husband and his coworkers love to fish and hunt up there. So, in summary, there's a lot of opportunity for outdoor activities, so you're not going to lose that when you move from California to Montana. All right, moving on to culture. California to Missoula, you're probably wondering what the culture is really like. Okay, so I really believe that Missoula is a little beautiful mixture of all kinds of people. Missoula isn't racially or culturally diverse like California, but in Missoula, there's ample opportunities to enjoy the arts. The ZAC is one of my favorite places to visit. There are in-person and online art galleries. They also have art classes for children and adults. Want to get out of the house with the kids in the wintertime? The ZAC has a free indoor playground. Such a great place to check out. Another must to check out near Missoula is the Kettle House Amphitheater that hosts amazing concerts. It can seat up to 4,000 people with remarkable views of the mountains and the Blackfoot River in the background. Macklemore, Counting Crows, and the Lumineers are some of the many artists that have stopped by to perform. There's also a yummy brewery right next door. Pre-game in style. All right, let's talk about sports. Now, California may win in this department. Missoula doesn't host any NFL, MLB, NBA, etc. teams. We do have a minor league baseball team, the Paddleheads, and their games are super fun. I love taking my kids to their games the week of July 4th. They have fireworks right after the games. Plus, their Sunday games are family friendly with kids being free. Makes it guilt-free if my 2-year-old son wants to leave mid-game. The University of Montana has great sports teams. Their football, hockey, and soccer teams are well ranked. Games are fun for all ages. The Grizz's homecoming weekend and parade are my favorite. So many things to do around town. Plus, everyone is rocking their Grizz gear. It's nice to see all the support in the community. Listen, I'm a transplant also. Born and raised in Washington, D.C. I'm a city girl that moved to the mountains. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Definitely the best decision my family and I have ever made. Montana will not be just like California, but that's the beauty in it. Why move from one place to another just to try and create the exact same life that we already had somewhere else? Now listen, if you have more questions about moving from California to Montana and to Missoula in particular, go ahead and leave them down in the comment box below. Well, like I said, guys, we're getting phone calls, texts, and emails from people just like you every single day that are trying to pack up and get out of California and get over here to Missoula. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, I don't care, shoot me a call, text, or an email. The team and I are waiting right now to help you guys. So until next time, I can't wait to show you around.